It's time. Y'all know it is, folks. It's time for another Tap Out Show. I am your host, Chili Will. Yeah, stay tuned. We got Ryan Garcia coming up, suspended. We got some Devin Haney talk. We got some UFC Saudi talk. So, come join us. No intros. You're already on screen.
Dang, you're going to deprive me of that?
Yep.
My glory. I just wanted you to announce me like they do in Game of Thrones or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The first of his name.
The first of his name. The crusher of all DHL boxes.
Protector of the realm.
Protector of the realm.
You know, that would have been a great that would have been a great Will prank to start off the show too. Just imagine if I actually had my camera on for once. I'm taking just a big ass bite of a Subway sandwich. It would have been the biggest ayo moment of my life.
Y'all ever seen the Honest trailers?
Oh yeah, it's been a while for you.
The Honest trailers for Game of Thrones might be the best one. We might have to watch that at the end of the show just for the hell of it.
I'm just glad I wasn't picking my nose, man.
You got to be ready, man.
Will's caught us slipping before. It's not a hidden thing. It's his way of pranking people.
You want to quote with J Kid, man? You got to always be ready for that pass.
Jake over here taking a jab.
Yeah. You head in the swivel. All right, folks. Anybody out there in friendship land, can y'all tag everyone in this? As far as the viewers go. So we have another Tap Out Show. We got a lot going on in news this week. You want to handle some MMA news or UFC news, Jake? Or what do you got for us?
I think because it's so fresh and so new, I think running right into that Ryan Garcia news is the
Garcia? You want to start with Garcia? All right, cool. I did kind of leave the title with it. People would be kind of pissed if they had to wait.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a good tease. That's the point. But anyways, we'll do it. Yeah, so the results are back in, and the verdict has been reached, and Ryan Garcia will be suspended for a year, which I don't know if it's going to hurt him very much. He also talked about retiring, but yeah, they got him dirty, man. Also, they switched the win overturned the win, so now it's no contest. So Devin Haney is still undefeated. How do we feel about this, fellas?
Man, I don't know. The whole thing was a circus anyway. So I was
leading up to the fight was a circus, and then the fight very much its own circus, and then after it's continued to be Arnhem and Bailey.
So Ryan Garcia is giving up basically his whole purse, if I read correctly.
Well, yeah, he had to get. I don't know how much he made, but he had to give $1 million back. And then a $10,000 fine as well. So he's down 1.1.
Oh, he's rich. He got it.
Yeah, YouTube's treating him pretty good. Right, YouTube? So yeah, I just think that's fascinating news for the boxing world. I think we all expected this to come once we knew that he had tested positive on the first test. The chances, he had tested positive for multiple things. So even if they had cleared one, which I think one got cleared, but it didn't matter because the Osterine and something else was still in the system. So he's talked about retirement. I think that's just a Jay-Z retirement. He'll drop 4 more albums. I think he'll be back after that year. But I think in this off year, so if he's suspended by the boxing commission, can he do the Jake Paul type of shit?
Yeah, because I ain't real. I ain't real fighting anyway, so why not?
Well, then, yeah, I expect to see him. I don't know, maybe he'll beat the shit out of KSI or Something.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, no, I think he was trying to. I don't want to say he was trying to. Well, I mean, you can't beat the suspension. Once that stuff's caught, they're going to suspend you anyway, no matter what you try to do with your
He
career.
can appeal. He's going to lose.
No, I'm not saying that. I think he was trying to. I don't know. I can't. I'm not. I don't want to say avoid it, but that story, because I think it even hit on ESPN for like a little bit before they took it down, that he announced a retirement, and it was up and then it was anywhere from like 13 to 20 minutes later, and it came out that Ryan Garcia was hit for 1.1, and it's like, oh, he just got hit with that massive fine. Oh wait, there's a suspension next to that too. Oh shit, yeah. He was trying to beat out that suspension, like, haha, you can't suspend me, I'm retired, bitches, and it just didn't work out for him.
Nah, I don't think it's what he was trying to do at all. Because I guarantee by the time he made that post, he already knew the verdict.
Well,
so he already knew.
He wanted to get the headlines for something else.
Yeah, maybe a headline grab, but he was never going to sway or change or even try to change how the verdict went by retiring, because they still would have hit him with the fines, and he still would have been suspended for whenever. If you ever want to come back, you're suspended for a year. So yeah, there was no getting out of that. I think what he just tried. Yeah, I think your second point was more accurate. He tried to steal the headline of it, but also wasn't going to work. So
is it like a Conor McGregor suspension where you're suspended, but you're just trying to weed out whatever's left in your system?
Right. Except they had no reason to hide it, whereas UFC had plenty of reason to bury that story.
That's true.
Boxing's like, fuck you, we don't need you.
We got Jake Paul.
Yeah. Rough. All right, so I mean that, and I guess for Haney that's kind of cool because you don't get the loss, but you know what? You don't get to reverse us all watching him beat your ass.
Yeah.
So have fun with that, Haney. I'm glad you're undefeated still. Keep fighting. I think Austrian or not, he gets his ass whipped. He didn't seem prepared for that fight, so. But it's neither here nor there, because we won't see that for another. I doubt he fights him again either. I wouldn't fight him again. Fuck you, dude. Try to end my career juicing, even though you beat the shit out of me. Nah, we're not doing that again. Nope. All right. Any MMA news?
Actually, I don't really have any MMA news per se. Now, I think that just because I'm able to like throw this in there and maneuver it this way, obviously next week we're going to be talking about Pereira versus Prohaska too, and we can just go over like the normal stuff we normally go over for 303. But what I really would like to talk about is Will's already mentioned it once tonight about the circus in the boxing world, but can we just go ahead and mention the circle or the circus in the MMA world? I feel like the way Dana's been going about it for the last, I don't know, year and a half is just, and it's only gone through like twice where he's made a banger of a card and the card's been absolutely phenomenal. And he's had to completely scrap and redo the card because everyone's getting hurt. Everyone's sick. Someone stubbed their toe and someone's crying about their mom. It's just they've always got to switch it, and that's what happened in 303.
Why do you think that is, Jake?
Because people are crybabies nowadays.
No.
Do you think it's like product of just shitty circumstance?
No.
It could.
Or here's another theory. Maybe Dana's been in the game so long that it's starting to get to him.
That, or very, very simply put, he doesn't always have, whenever it's time for the pay-per-view, he doesn't always have enough of good fights that we want to see. And sometimes you got to lie about it, knowing that they won't be able to fight, and then they'll pull out, sell the tickets, sell the pay-per-views. Ain't no refunds, so.
The thing is that I also think that this plays a massive factor, is that we didn't see this in UFC. I'm going to just go ahead and say maybe like 10 years ago. The UFC is officially, like, in my opinion, caught up to the way football is ran, of if I don't know, if you got a spring in your pinky foot or in your pinky toe, you're more than likely going to be out that week because athletes sit out more often than not to preserve their body so they can make as much money as they possibly could off of their body before it breaks down. And the way that the doctors and the way the medical staff works nowadays, they can find something wrong with you so quick, and that the UFC fighters are finally starting to do that to where they're pulling out for any and every little thing. Because every card since probably UFC 285, this has been going on to where if they see any bit of an issue, these fighters are pulling out. And I don't feel like Conor McGregor's in that niche because Conor McGregor's done this kind of stuff before where you make a guy wait. There's always an issue going on. I was like, this card was doomed from the beginning mainly because McGregor's a prima donna and it goes on his time, not anyone else's time. But as far as, what the original card was even supposed to be, if I got to find it. There it is. As obviously you had Connor and Chandler, and then you had the original co-main event was supposed to be Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree. That's no longer the co-main event, and the fight that took that spot is now third on the card, which is Anthony Smith versus what the hell was the guy's name anyway? Romain Doldizi, and it was originally supposed to be Carlos Ulberg because
wait, they changed it up again?
Yeah, they changed it up again. I sent that earlier because I believe it was Roundtree that fell out and Ulberg took over. Then Jamal Hill backed out, so Anthony Smith took over. It was going to be Anthony Smith versus Carlos Ulberg, and then Ulberg backed out, and now Anthony Smith is going against Roman. I'm going to keep butchering his name, so I ain't even going to try it again. But, yeah, so that's where we're sitting now with that. So this card has been restructured and moved around so much, and we'll probably go over more of them next week. But, yeah, that's been like the biggest match that's been changed around. Obviously, Alex Pereira and Yuri stepped into the main event spot for Chandler and Connor, which, by the way, I mean, if you look at this card in retrospect, it's so much better than what the original card was anyway. I mean, you're going to start at the even the early prelim card, Michelle Waterson's still fighting, even though there was word about her moving out of the fight. Andre Arlovsky, who's a nostalgia throwback for the UFC. Ricky Simone, who was a pretty fun to watch on The Ultimate Fighter when I was watching it a year or two ago. It was. You move on to the preliminary card. Charles Jourdain's a nice up-and-coming featherweight to keep your eye out for. Cub Swanson's coming back for God knows fight number whatever, and he's still rocking at 40 years old. I've heard that name, Marc-Andre Burial, but not necessarily remembering if he was any good. Oh, he's Canadian. He's got to be fine. And Joe Pyfer's fighting also. And then the main card, Ian Gary and Michael Venom Page. Everybody wanted MVP's next fight to be against Ian Gary or Wonder Boy. We got that fight, and it's going to be a welterweight. See what they can do. Mayra Bueno Silva is just coming off a loss of a title fight going against Macy Chias, and the fight that got switched around so much, Anthony Smith versus Roman Doldizi, and then the co-main event, which everyone got hyped for. As soon as they announced that we're getting Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez, that fight's going to be insane, and we're going to dive into that fight next week when we get into it, and then obviously the main event that we got into. It just sucks because, we don't want to see these fight cards get announced that we get to start to look forward to and then it all fall apart. But if Dana's able to do this to the cards, then I'm okay with it. It's just you hate getting hyped for because I'm a huge Michael Chandler fan. I'm looking forward to that fight, and I kind of had a feeling something was going to go wrong because I think Mike, you're the one that started to say like a week or three ago, get ready for some rumblings. This fight's probably not going to happen because it just seems like it's going that way. And I'm like, let's just see where it goes. And then here we are, a completely brand new card. But 303 is looking to be pretty badass, and I'm looking forward to it.
So much so that you skipped today's show and started next week's.
No. That's just going over the changes. Next week's going to be, a little bit more fun and in depth.
I'm messing with you.
Did you guys have,
sorry, go ahead,
Mike. No, wait, you're fine. I was pretty much done.
We've seen like patterns like this in the past, and I feel like these are the type of like circumstances that pave the way for like the next superstar. And the reason why I say that was like whenever people like hold out there's always some young, hungry up and comer that'll fight anybody and anyone. And that took the form of like Conor McGregor like 10
Yep.
years ago, right? Because we
100%.
kind of saw a very similar thing, like contract disputes, injuries, sitting out. And it just takes like one hungry dude who really wants it that bad to kind of like outshine everybody. And I think the other issue too, I feel like we have like an overinflated roster. We have too many events. I hate the Apex cards. I was like, get rid of those, man. Like, why the fuck do we have all these like dumbass? All of this is just like little private events for like Dana's and his rich buddies. Like, they're basically just private fights.
Yeah, honestly, they are private. It's gambling events. It's events so that he can gamble.
Right. So I don't know. I feel like they need to scale down the roster, get rid of all these like little minor events, and focus more on like high profile, like pay-per-view cards.
Or like completely buy out LFA and have a freaking minor league. Every major sport in any major sport in professional sports, in period, all have minor leagues, and it's okay to own like an LFA and to have your build-up talent go there. I mean, shit. If you even look at WWE, they have NXT, which is where they put all their development talent before they come up to a main roster.
Well, they're just supposed to be the show, but it sucks.
Yeah. Also, Mike, I want to throw someone else in the hat for you talked about the young and hungry guy coming out of nowhere that'll fight everybody. You know who else you could throw in that hat?
Who's that?
Israel Adesanya, for sure.
You talking about during his rise? Like,
yeah, because he kind of came out of nowhere, started fighting everybody. They gave him one piece of the pie and gave him Anderson Silva, even though it was a washed Anderson Silva. But he still went in there and that was a pretty entertaining fight seeing those two go against each other.
Yeah.
Didn't he beat Silva?
Yeah. Yes, he beat him.
Yeah. They said a long.
It went the distance.
Yeah.
But no, man. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I wish I would have caught on to Volkanovski quicker because seeing his rise probably would have been pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of
also.
Yeah, him too, and that
he didn't blow up. It actually backfired because he didn't take it serious enough. He would fight anyone. He just wouldn't train for anyone.
Yeah, that was that wild time in 2020 or 2021 when he took 5 fights that year and won all 5. It was wild.
Yeah, he had the pandemic run.
And then he ran into a brick wall against Marvin Vettori. That's kind of where it all.
We should look into that. Is he better when there's not a fucking stand full of people?
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Fascinating. Much as he talks too, right?
You
know what? Oh wow. Go ahead. I'm talking to myself.
You know what? The other thing that the UFC I feel like don't do enough. They need to cut people more. Back in the day, it was like if you lost like 3 fights in a row, you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What if they do it just really quietly and we don't know it?
They probably do, but yeah, it's like usually there was like a sense of urgency. There was always a talk in the media, like, oh, so and so lost 2 row, 3 row. You know what I mean? But it's like even like the media doesn't bring it up anymore. I mean, look at freaking Tony Ferguson. He's like 6 fights in a row now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's got a fight. He's got a fight coming up against Michael Chiesa. Like, who the fuck cares about that fight? And the thing is, I like both the guys. I like both the guys as fighters and think they're both to have interesting styles. But I could care less for that fight.
Yeah, it's rough.
I hate when that happens.
You know what I would like to propose if I ever get to sit down with like the Saudi family, we'll do like the Super Bowl tournament, right? Where you don't have to do like a crossover event. It wouldn't be like a UFC versus Bellator per se, but like each organization sends like one fighter, right, to represent them in a big tournament, and you win like a cup, right? Be like some sort of like World Cup, and like say somebody from the UFC wins it, right, and they hold on to the cup, they bring that cup home to the UFC. So it'd be like kind of like a
yeah, like Premier League type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like that. That'd be fun.
And it would just be once a year, right? You don't have to overdo it.
Right.
Don't oversaturate the market with it. It's like that year's WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the problem what's happening in UFC is that they did the thing that you got to do when you're competing with an establishment as old and as time tested as boxing. They flooded the market. You couldn't turn around without seeing another UFC event. And then the pandemic hit, and they were one of the only factions leagues still running. So it boded well for them to continue to do that. But now we're at a point where we're at phase 5 of the Marvel movies now with the UFC.
Yeah.
We're getting a little tired of the shit. We don't need to see, we don't need every character to have a show. We don't need every week to have an event.
Right.
Give me a fight night every 2 weeks and give me give me the pay-per-views. What do they do? What do they do right now? Is it once a month?
Yeah, it's once a month now. Before it was once every 3 months.
That maybe go back to or split the difference, then make it one every 2 months.
Right.
So a regular every run-of-the-mill fight night every 2 weeks, and then every 2 months a pay-per-view. Yeah. I think your product will be better now. You've gotten the people, and obviously you can't cut down and go to 1 and 1, like one a month, or you don't want to go that far because you've gotten people used to having your product on a regular basis. But you don't need to go every week. It's hurting the product.
And you know how much easier it'd be to have card building if you did go to a pay-per-view every 2 months.
Just health-wise.
I dropped my phone. I'm saying that also. It is, and I'm saying that also because they have a hard enough time building a card, and if you're doing a pay-per-view every month, and sometimes, I mean, Will, me and you've seen a pay-per-view run. It's UFC 271, and then 2 weeks later it's 272. It's happened before. We've seen it. And you have championship fights on each of these cards. If you separate them out, you're going to have people more enticed to spend their $70, $80 on a pay-per-view if you have 2 title fights on a card.
So here's the other real problem with the model they have going right now. It's working. Why would they change? People are going to every event.
Because no matter what people love their UFC.
That's the other thing that they've entered that's very similar to the NFL is they know that their product is guaranteed now. They're going to fill the seats. So if we want changes, we have to do what we said in football. You got to boycott. You got to not go. You got to figure it out. You got to force them to make changes. They have no reason to make changes right now. They're paying fighters pennies on the dollar compared to boxing. And they get thrown an event every week and we watch.
There's no reason for them to stop. It's not even a niche market anymore. Like high-profile people are showing up to each thing. I mean, WWE even wanted a piece of the pie and merged with them, and now they're a together brand. Like everybody realized how high on the totem pole UFC got, and now everybody's there.
The story of the UFC is really dope, honestly. Dana was on the Flagrant podcast, and I was watching that shit, and he was just going over how they got built, how they almost failed a bunch of times. Intriguing.
Well, how many? There was 10 million in the hole, 20 million in the hole, something like that.
40. They were 40 at one point. Yeah, they were upside down 40 million easily, and with not only that, with nothing looking forward in terms of how they were going to go about it.
Yeah,
and one of the 2 brothers or 2 guys that fronted the money. They thought about it for a couple of days and they called Dana back and they were like, just whatever, let's just go.
Yeah.
Just keep going forward. See what happens.
Because I know when they landed that Spike TV deal for the first season of Ultimate Fire, they paid for the production costs.
So that ended up being that's a huge part of this whole puzzle because they weren't going to do it if they didn't pay the cost. They were like, nah, we don't think it's worth it. Spike was like, we don't think it's worth it. They're like, all right, we'll front the bill for the beginning of this. And they were like, all right, we'll do it. But having done that, they owned all the rights still. So they got them to pull the trigger without getting their rights so that everything positive that happened was all profit, all in their pocket.
Yeah.
Crushed. Had Spike took the initial deal, Dana and them would be rich, but they wouldn't be this rich. Not at all. And we don't know where the UFC would have went because it wouldn't have been completely their control. Spike TV would have had it, but Spike TV didn't want to do all that. So they said, if you front your own bill, yeah, we'll do it. 10 million they put up. and then the Forrest. That's the show. That's Forrest Griffin, and who was the other guy? Forrest Griffin and
Stephen Bonner.
Stephen Bonner. They put on an absolute show, and the rest is history.
I feel like the UFC. Oh, my bad. I keep cutting you.
Go ahead. You start.
Okay,
no, you started before.
I feel like the UFC can still recreate that tough success in the form of like the foreign markets, right? I feel like they need to do it in like in these regional areas, right? Where MMA is just touching, if not haven't touched these areas of the world yet, right? So you want to get people invested. Do like a regional, local tough.
Yeah, do and then and yeah, do it like the Marvel and like when Marvel was good. Do individual country, and then turn it into a culture war. Like, let's just do Brazil versus Russia. That'll be kind of amazing. All those fights would be great. Shit like that. Canada versus America, and then the winner switches. Like I think you could do a country tournament that would be badass if you really wanted to. But again, all these ideas are great, but they have no reason to do them.
Right. I don't know. I just feel like they grab the world's attention. I think everybody wants to be involved in this sport. I think like fighting is just like this primal thing that's instilled in all of us that we can understand. And I just feel like there's so many like people in the world are like missing out on it, you know?
Well, this always happens when something becomes so big. It got as big as they ever could have imagined. And then they're there and they're like, now what? We're just printing money. Okay, let's just keep printing money instead of making the product better. Let's just keep printing money, and that's just that's the nature of capitalism.
Yeah.
So, and the thing about
what up, Pete Dollar?
Is that I truly do enjoy what like the last 5 to maybe 10 seasons of Tough were, because it all depends on who you get as coaches and how much they disdain each other, how good they were, or. So anything in the demographic, because obviously the first 10 seasons were it felt more like reality-based TV than it was in the fighting. But the last couple of seasons of Tough, I've actually enjoyed because they focus more on we want to get away from reality TV. We want this to be more about the fighters, and you follow the fighter's life. There's not nearly as much, gaga and, planned out beefs between people and, just, forcing the fake of like, we're going to do dumb shit in the back, and Dana doesn't have to come in and, give these guys a talking to over, we got to stop acting like idiots. This is about an opportunity, and you guys need to take the opportunity serious. And it's been, more fight-based. It's, more background instead of just getting the Contender Series with the thing. And I've enjoyed, Tough the last few years, which is why when I talk about it, I'm sticking up for it. Because a lot of people really didn't like the idea of the reality-based thing back in those first couple of seasons. But in reality, a lot of the people got to give, their hand to Tough for the UFC being where the hell they are today. Because without Tough, we probably wouldn't even have the UFC.
Yeah. And I get that. Like, my main criticism of Tough is like the American market is already locked in. It's a guaranteed thing. So I think it's redundant to have
elsewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go elsewhere. Like, you know what I mean? Where MMA is new. You know what I mean?
The problem is the language barrier.
See, here's the thing. It's not for us though. It's for it should be in.
That's true.
A Chinese, right. Like say if we're doing like a Tough China, it should be a Chinese production in Chinese for a Chinese audience. And if we want to watch it, we can watch it on UFC Fight Pass or something with subtitles. You know what I mean? It's not really geared toward us.
And the thing is, they have done that before, but they haven't done it nearly enough. There's been I think this is the 32nd season of Tough they got going on right now. And I think what you're talking about, Mike, I think they've done it like twice. And
no, they've done it, but they aired it in America.
Right.
Yeah, and also, that is terrible.
Also, they mixed it wasn't all one country that they did.
Yeah, I think the last time I think that they did something like that was when it was Chael and Wanderlei, because Wanderlei had the Brazilians. My bad, Jesus Christ. I can't say the M word, or else I would have went with his nickname.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, he.
You sound hurt about it. It's okay. You can't say it. It's a thing.
He.
Hold on, but that's his nickname.
Wanderlei Silva is the axe that good thing.
The axe murderer.
Yeah. I didn't want to say the M word on live. We're on
M.
YouTube,
Oh,
bro.
M. I thought you.
What'd you think I said?
Jake.
What did I do?
That's like saying M for Nancy instead of Nancy. Like, bro, just.
I said what I said.
Just move forward.
M
word, M as in money. M word is not a thing.
Well, my bad. Well, you can't say this kind of stuff because you got to say off themselves or something because YouTube's got an algorithm that if you say this shit, you're gonna be.
You gotta stop watching TikTok videos and thinking that's world. That's the life.
Anyway, motherfucker.
Anyway,
we say these type of things all the time.
Yeah, the last time they did that, and the only reason that I bring that up or use that is because I think that they were showing that in the Brazilian market, but it wasn't like regional, like Mike said that it was. But the only way that they're trying to like round about that, but again, it's still America based. It's still happening at the Apex only, and that's what Dana built the Apex because that's what he wanted to use it for, and he wanted it to be super accessible to him because he lives in Vegas. Because this year, how many Americans do you think are on Tough? I've already watched the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I'm gonna let you guys take a guess. How many Americans do you think's on the show?
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
2.
5.
Good call, Will. That's exactly how many there are. There's only 5. Everything else is world-based. It's the most, I don't remember how Dana worded it, but it's the most cultured thing so far. There's I think he said 13 different countries represented in this season. They're from all over the world coming over, from Ireland, Russia, France.
But again, it's being aired to an American audience. You know what I mean? I feel like it's the people that the country they're representing. They're the one really missing out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but to go with that is that Tough is aired on ESPN Plus, which is available for anybody.
Do we know that? Do we know that for sure? I'm talking about in a foreign market. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't know what's available for a market.
I'm just saying, man. I feel like there's a global like market that's being untapped. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you.
You know, because it kind of already like this in the sense of like with the pay-per-view cards. If there's a fighter from that country, there's like commentaries that's in that language.
Yeah.
So why can't we just do like a regional production? You know what I mean? Have branching markets, like UFC branching markets. You know.
Because it's not about what you want. All right, Mike. All right, Wu-Tang. It's not for you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Will.
No, it isn't.
It is a good dream.
It is just that, a dream.
It is a good dream.
Yeah, they really should make these changes, and they really won't. So we can still hope, though. You know.
Fuck it, I got one FC.
Are they handling things great?
No, probably not.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like they were like bragging about their first 3 division champ. I was like, but you don't got nobody. I was like, 3 belts too.
And then he could probably win all 6 to 8 divisions if you let him. Like, Chris Vick, I want to see Will versus Mike Tyson. Why would you do that to Mike? It's crazy. Don't do that to Mike Tyson. You don't need that. You don't need that type of problem on his hands. He's 50 years old, 50 plus. I don't want to have to hurt that man.
We'll kick him in the shin.
I'll kick him in the nuts. Call that a day.
Oh, my nuts.
Yeah. So we're gonna break down whatever we're gonna call this, like this fight night in Saudi. Also, they're gonna start getting pissed that you keep sending trash over there.
Yeah, pretty well. You know what? I don't think they care because the WWE does the same thing. They send trash cards over there all the time.
Yeah, I don't think WWE is what they're banking on over there.
And this is like another replacement, like fight too. This is originally supposed to be the Chimaev card.
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah, wow. He was supposed to fight Chimaev on this one. Another person who hype got derailed on his own. Really,
he did it to himself.
Yeah, Chimaev, because didn't he miss like 6 fights?
Yeah. Something like that.
So
He's literally pulled out of the last 3, bro.
I mean, I bet you he'll never have kids. His pullout game is crazy.
Asian on Asian violence, me likey.
Me like, wow.
Hey man, Asian on Asian hate's real, bro.
Is it? I mean, yeah, people hate everyone.
I thought, man, especially if it's China and Japan. Hell yeah.
Bro, it's kind of crazy because
that's a major beef over there. That was.
Yeah,
I don't know how big ass China let little ass Japan do that to them though.
Innovation, bro. Innovation, bro. Innovation.
Yeah, they were just ahead of the times. Them samurais had Gatling guns.
It's so terrible because Mike's right. This guy absolutely got derailed after starting off so hot. He came into the UFC in 2020 and then fought 10 days later after, what is it? He knocked out a guy, right? No, submission in the second round. Fought 10 days later. Don't know how that was even legal. Knocked out the guy in the first round and then came back. I believe that's 2 months later and then knocked out Gerald Meerschaert in 17 seconds.
Yeah.
Took a year off after that. Comes back and beats the Leech, which was just absolutely disrespectful to the Leech. I love the Leech. Took yet again another year off. Beat Gilbert Burns by decision, which was finally one of the next big competition he had. The first big competition he had really in the UFC. Takes short amount of time off actually. Fights Kevin Holland. Then he pulls out of a ton of fights. Takes the Usman fight. I had Usman winning that fight, and goes the distance with him.
And don't forget the Kevin Holland fight. He missed weight. It was supposed to be the Nate Diaz fight. He missed weight, and they had to reshuffle the card.
Yeah,
the day before
180.
Yeah. See, I think this is why I like Shavkat Rakhmonov. He became what Chimaev should have been.
Yeah.
Had he just stayed on track. I think that's what Shavkat Rakhmonov is.
That's a fair assessment.
Shavkat's he's a man among men. He's gonna be a champ one day.
Oh yeah.
But now again, this is where I was coming in earlier talking about how we have so many cards shuffled within one thing, and like Mike said, this was supposed to be the Chimaev card. He pulled out and was replaced by Ikram Alskarov. Hey man,
the fuck you call me?
Here.
The N word.
Exactly.
The M word.
The M word.
We'll never get over that. Somebody clip the M word, please.
The M word.
That's terrible. No, why? I was trying to look out for our YouTube rights, bro. Come on now. We got banned because you played a trailer. Hey, what else do you think we can get banned for?
Yeah, that's someone else's IP. Makes sense.
Anyway, the Shara Bullets in this fight card, that's going to be fun and interesting. Man that's blind of one eye. Hey, if Bisping can get away with it, why couldn't he?
I don't know, skill.
Oh, man. Is Sed still fighting on this card?
Who?
Sed Nurmagomedov? No, the battle scrap. God damn it. But yeah, other than that, nothing really, crazy is going on. No other really pullouts, but there were 2 or 3 fights on this card that were supposed to be, here and big and kind of went away. I'm not able to pronounce any of these guys' names on the very first 4 fights. I ain't even going to try.
Zhao Long and Cheng Ho Lee.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah, because Will watches too much anime.
That's not the only reason. I also played a lot of hockey. I played a lot of hockey games when I was younger, and those names are a fucking nightmare.
That's fair. That's a lot of Russian and Switzerland.
It's all Czech. It's all Czech and Russian, and those names are crazy.
They live on a block of ice.
Not a single Asian in those hockey games, though.
We don't do well on ice.
Apparently not.
No, there's literally one, and he's only half or a quarter, and it's Sebastian Aho.
It's a great name, though.
Aho.
Legit.
Oh, no. Apollo Otto. He'd be on the ice. He'd be on the ice.
Wait, Apollo Odo. Who's that?
That's the figure skater, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's half Japanese.
I mean, Michelle Kwan was one of the best for years.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah, Michelle Kwan was the real deal. I think she got a Wheaties box.
Yeah.
Gangsta.
Really?
That don't mean shit now, but back then it meant something.
Nah, man, you made it on a Wheaties box. You were something.
You were legendary if you got on a Wheaties box back in the day.
Yeah, now Anthony Pettis. He was on a Wheaties box. One of the first MMA fighters. Anthony Pettis. He was like one of the first MMA fighters to be on a Wheaties box. Ugh. Dead ass.
Weird.
Again, it don't mean shit now, but
yeah, they didn't know who to pick. They were like, they're fighting. We don't know. Just pick one.
I can't even find a Wheaties box anymore.
Yeah, who eats Wheaties? They're disgusting.
You gotta put sugar in it.
Then just get Frosted Flakes and stop being weird.
Nah, man, honeycomb.
Honeycomb's a bomb. Soggy level. You could basically pour like a handful of cereal at a time, though.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that 3 spoonfuls in, the rest of it's soggy.
Yeah.
Don't make
the same way about Fruity
podcast
Pebbles
on cereal. Chop up next week cereal.
Bro, did we do it? Have you guys done a bracket fight on cereal yet?
We have not.
Oh, we got an idea.
And that's one I take very seriously. I might have to go in and like make that one. Like go get the pitches and go pick the good bracket out and really make the bracket for the cereal joint.
Don't forget to put that Kroger brand cereal on there for Unc.
Ain't nobody putting no Kroger brand, bro.
Motherfucker, we'll fight. I'll lose and I don't care.
More than half our show knows what Kroger's is, but I don't give a fuck.
Nah, Jake be eating that bag cereal.
I do. I got freaking Kroger brand toasted oats downstairs.
He be having Fruity Loops, not Fruit Loops, Fruity Loops.
Nah, man, he be having Fruity Rice.
And those loops are like plastic when you look at them. They're shiny. They're not supposed to be.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, it's not good. They're shiny like Pops, but they're not. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be shiny like Corn Pops. Like,
I really want to find out what the Fruity Pebbles version of Kroger's is because
do they still make Rice Krispie Treats cereal?
Yeah, they call them Fruity Rice.
The Rice Krispie Treat cereal was crazy. Man. Throwback. But it was basically just Rice Krispie Treats in a bowl. It was crazy.
Rice Krispie Treat cereal was another thing you had to throw sugar in.
No,
really?
You didn't.
Really?
Absolutely.
Would you like some cereal with your sugar, Jake?
Absolutely.
It's going to be a diabetic coma by the time he's 32.
You wonder why I'm fucking fat as fuck now. Get out of here.
I don't wonder anymore. You killed the wonder. There's no more wonder.
Cue the cat. Nah, boogers.
Yeah, seriously. Marks, I got Wu-Tang to beat y'all both in the same night. He's the only fucker who trained for this shit. Although he is like 2 or 3 weight classes. He's a whole fucking entire league of weight classes under me, but it's...
Oh man, I weighed in there and I'm like 138 right now. I was killing. I mean, I ate shit earlier, so I probably like jumped on the scale like another 5 pounds.
I would record myself live punting a baby to be 138 right now.
Dude, it took a lot of work, man. It took a lot of work just to get to there. I struggled, man.
Yeah.
I did the Spartan race like 2 weeks ago, man. That was rough.
I was 138 when I was like 15. Yeah.
Dude, Mike's been training for that shit for a while. The last time he came over to watch a UFC fight, no, it wasn't the last time. It was over at my
fucking door
house.
Off the handle.
No, it was at it was at my sister's house, and I went outside to smoke, and he came out, and he was fucking doing up downs. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I got a race tomorrow, so I got to keep my energy up." I'm like, "Fair enough."
Man's doing burpees at a friend's fucking party. That's great.
Fantastic.
It's like, yo, I gotta go outside. I got 25 sets of burpees to do. I'll be back.
I gotta keep it going, man. I'm at the bottom of the food chain trying to survive till tomorrow, bro. I can't stop.
Did you really join that party all sweaty? It's gross. I mean, it's Dennis Rodman. Anyways, all right. So, do we care about any of these fights?
No, not really. Let's just go to the main card. Fuck it.
I feel like this show should end up just being about anime.
it's going to end up being like that for 10 minutes.
Oh, your boy's fighting on this card though, Johnny Walker.
Yeah, that's why I said I was like, honestly, this fight card, it's actually a decent banger on the main card.
How is Johnny Walker Brazilian? It's most American name.
It's a trash ass whiskey. I say that much.
Unless you say it like in a Portuguese accent, it's like Johnny Walker.
Yeah, that's gonna get us banned. He's making fun of Brazilians and he's Asian. How do we handle this? What's the guide say?
Brazil.
I believe Johnny Walker's coming off of a no contest and a loss all to Magomed and Kalaev. So he's not having
also
a good
this
time.
guy has it's funny, he's from Switzerland, which is notoriously neutral, but he has a fucking villain ass name, Volkan Ozdemir.
Ozdemir was one of those guys, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong. He came into the UFC hot and heavy then, highly anticipated, came in, had 3 straight fights, and then
not doing too bad. He's still top 10.
Holy shit, he did. He had a title fight against Daniel Cormier, lost by TKO in the second round, and then dropped 2 more fights, one to Anthony Smith, one to Dominic Reyes. He has a win over Alexander Rakic, which is interesting, but then he loses to Prohaska, Magomed, Nikita Krylov, who's another guy everyone's looking at right now in the light heavyweight division.
Nikita Krylov, that's fucking wrestling. You don't even know who Nikita Krylov is, do you?
No. I remember that old head. Get out of here. And he's also got a win against Paul Craig in that.
If I remember correctly, too, he got.
What you know about that Nick Bockwinkel?
Nick Bockwinkel.
Now, if I remember correctly, he got cut from the UFC briefly.
Ozdemir?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you might have to fact check me, but it was during like COVID when they were doing Fight Island. He was like sneaking in and out of the facility without a wristband. He was trying to sneak like one of his like coaches or staff member into the facility. Yeah, it was a big like ordeal.
That's insane. Let's see. All I'm seeing, and this is just via the wiki. If I went and looked at it, I'd probably be able to find more. But it says Ozdemir faced Rakic on December 21st, 2019. He won the fight, and then in April 2022, in April 2020, Ozdemir revealed that he had renewed his contract with the UFC. But that's also in a 4-month span, so anything could have happened in that 4-month span. But I believe it. Next, you got, again, I'm not even going to try, but
Shara Magomedov and Antonio Trocoli. Trocoli.
He looks like he's out of the Shire or something.
Who, this guy? Yeah, he's secretly 4 feet tall.
Right. You got
where does me put the good?
Yeah, he's a fucking hobbit for sure. How's he Russian and not anything but Russian?
Right.
But the name is definitely Russian.
Hey, but you got the 2 prominent countries going against each other in the UFC.
Also, he's a gigantic favorite, by the way.
He's one of the hot and heavy guys in UFC right now that they're pushing to the top.
That's heavy. That beard's got to be heavy. Oh, he's the one-eye guy.
Yeah. That's why I said I was like, he's
like
blind.
Why
do you think I said he's blind in one eye pulling the Bisping earlier?
Yeah, I didn't hear who you said it about, obviously. That's why I say, so this is the guy with the one eye, is what I was saying. You nut.
You fool?
Yeah, we got Cyclops out here. All right, so.
Now you're going to get us canceled.
He would love that. I guarantee it.
What the hell's your problem, Will? What you got against guys with one eye?
Also, does he have a nickname? Bullet. Yeah. Like, as in the one he took in his eye? Like.
Yeah, bullet, not bullets.
Yeah. Just the one. Hit me right here. It's like, oh, no, I know what his name should be. Mike Wazowski. He's Mike Wazowski. Here we go. In my one eye.
Nah, man, Nick Fury.
Yeah, oh shit, Nick Fury. Nick Furious. Oh man, that's great. All right. We're going with the one out. We're going with Nick Furious, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Like
Yeah,
without-
he's
hold up.
But if you guys want to,
Did
is
we
he any
make
good
picks
though?
for the bottom?
We could. It's only what? It's like three. It's like three people.
No, it was just this.
We didn't even do the. We
we
didn't really do the prelims. So
I know we're not doing the prelims.
all right. So then you only have one to pick, which was this one.
Yeah, give me Johnny Walker.
Soccer.
He's tall.
And
I'm
I'm sure the
Vulcan.
other guy isn't a midget.
He's like 6'2".
Or 6'6". You have such a height issue. Like it's crazy. Your height hang up is wild.
Bro, I'm 5'9" and I'm pissed off about it.
And 5'9" is decent size, decent height.
You're the only person that's ever told me that. Thank you. I'm crying.
Listen, 5'9" is giant to 5'8", which is what I've been the whole time. So it's all right, so we're going Shara over here.
Shara, yeah.
Hey, but if you folks for my gambling folks want to take a flyer on an upset, this will get you some bread here. I don't think he's gonna win, so I didn't make that pick. But if you are one of those who likes to pick also he has Jake's favorite fucking advantage of being 3 inches taller and 7 inches in reach. So
what weight class is that at?
Middleweight.
Ah, cool. That's a big ass middleweight.
What was he? He was 6'5". What was the weight though? Oh, they didn't do the weight. Yeah, he's about right. They're about right. They both made the weight. I bet you.
But look at that reach difference.
Yeah, they both probably walk around at like 210, 215. Yeah, no, he's got crazy reach. This guy's gonna have to get in there. But how does he like to win? Let's find out. Yo, they're gonna stand, or at least he is. Shit, Jesus Christ, 91% KO, no submissions.
Oh damn.
And only 9% decisions. Average fight time, he goes all the way every time though. What's he been in one fight? What's his record?
You can tell he doesn't train Khabib.
No, he's punching. Khabib's like, fuck that. Look at so I think he's been in one fight though. How many UFC fights has Shara had?
I believe 2.
Here we go here and see. His last fight was versus Silva. Whooped him up. And view fight history. Oh yeah, that's his only fight. He's only had one fight.
One, okay. I thought he had 2.
Which explains those crazy numbers of knockouts because he's knocked out the one guy he faced. All right, well.
Obviously sent him to the shadow realm.
Yeah, fascinating. I think we're all going to go with the Russian there. Now we got Gastelum versus Rodriguez.
This was the only dud on the main card.
Ooh, rough.
Because I will never call a fight that involves Robert Whittaker a dud.
I will.
I refuse.
He's a good fighter. He's not an exciting fighter.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying you were. I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm saying that's fair.
Yeah. His fights aren't that fun for me. He's a good fighter though.
I think Daniel Rodriguez will take this just because Kevin Gastelum is, gatekeeping over the hump.
Yeah, he's a washed gatekeeper. You're not supposed to be a gatekeeper that long. His whole career has basically been gatekeeping.
He had a moment where he held the interim, and that was it. And then, poof, he was gone.
So we're all going Gastelum here?
Yeah. That's a safe bet.
Safe bet. Also a boring one. All right.
This one's interesting.
Yeah. We got big Pav out here versus Volkov. Two big dudes. This dude's 6'7". Holy shit.
Yeah, Volkov is the biggest heavyweight right now. As soon as Struve retired, this guy took over for the biggest fighter in the UFC. It's 6'7".
Look at that, 6'7", but losing the reach.
Johnny Walker being a close second. Yeah, Sergey is a man among men. I feel like I want to go ahead and say Alexander Volkov has a good chance here because he's riding a 3-fight win streak and he's looking as clean as he has, or looking as clean as he ever has in the UFC, in my opinion. He's absolutely killing it. He's focused. Sergey's coming off of a loss, I believe. Yeah, he's coming off a loss.
Yeah, he lost
Tom
to
Aspinall.
Aspinall, but he beat Blaze before that.
I want to say, and I don't want to give
and Lewis. Holy shit.
I don't want to do any kind of like comparisons here just because the UFC heavyweights are just, fat and big in there. I don't want to see it because I am a Volkov fan. I like what the guy brings to the table, but I see this fight possibly going the way the Derek Lewis fight went for Volkov. If he gets hit by one uppercut or one overhand, Sergey can put his lights out and it'd be over just like that. So as long as he's obviously he doesn't have the reach to use, but if he can keep his distance and just go in and fight technically, I feel like Volkov has a chance just to take this fight and be fine. But at the same time, Sergey's got one hit power, so it's going to be between who can connect and then who can be more technical at the same time. This will be stand-up only. Both these guys don't wrestle.
Yeah, and that favors Sergey. Sergey's going to beat the shit out of this dude, I feel like. I'm gonna go just in Volkov's sake, I definitely just see this fight going the same way the D. Lewis fight did. He's going to look good all fight. He's going to look like he's, more technically sound. Sergey's going to fire off one right hand. This shit's going to be over. I mean, Lewis hasn't looked more technically sound than anybody, but I know what you mean. He got the one shot on him, and that was it. Yeah, one shot power in the heavyweight. That's why we watch still. Otherwise, why bother? There's no great athletes up there anymore. So.
Russia.
Australia versus Russia. Robert Whittaker versus Ikram. Was it Eliskarov?
It's not even ranked.
I tried it earlier.
Yeah, he's not even ranked. Weird.
He has a very good opportunity here to look very, very good against one of the UFC's best.
But then again, he was a replacement, so
sits at 15-1. He was in the Contender Series literally 2 years ago, won by submission. He beat Phil Hawes.
He's got the reach and weight advantage.
He's only had 3 UFC fights if you consider the Dana White Contender Series a UFC fight.
I do.
Let's see here. Robert Whittaker is coming off of beating Paulo Costa after losing to Dracus Duplessis. He's kind of been rocky. He's 2-2 in his last 4 fights. He's looking for a big win, and I feel like he's going to go in and kind of make this guy look like a brand new noob. Going to be like taking candy from a baby. This fight could be over in the first round by knockout, or this could be a complete 5-round wash just because he wants to.
I'm going for the upset. Eliskarov. Let's go.
Of course you are.
Yeah. Whittaker can't gatekeep forever, so someone has to end him.
Yeah. But he's not even gatekeeping.
He is, though.
He was just in a title fight. No, he wasn't. My bad. I take that back. I'm wrong. He fought against Duplessis before it.
That's kind of what gatekeepers do. They randomly work their way back into a title fight, lose it again, and then they just keep gatekeeping.
He's also weirdly a division blocker too. He did.
It's funny what he does. He's like the definition of a gatekeeper and division block. He can really do both. He really does do both. He has been.
He derailed a couple
it's a weird ass career arc.
Yeah, because he right when Cannonier was climbing up the ranks, man, he stopped that too.
Yeah, he don't let no one get by.
Yeah, Cannonier got you up. Oof, rough.
And then he stopped 2.
I love that.
Yoel Romero, who doesn't even look human. Twice, yeah. Souza, Brunson.
I mean, that's a good pedigree right there, man.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, Hall, he's beating everyone. He's beating so many people.
This is why I said I would refuse to call any fight he has.
Thompson. Oh, Wonder Boy beat him.
He used to fight at welterweight.
Yeah. He beat Hester.
Hey, no, but Thompson, no, he's the man though, because he stopped Gilbert Burns when he was at welterweight too.
Everyone forgets how good Wonder Boy is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Boy was fun. He just is so old.
Too bad he's fucking
Was he ever
40
champion?
years old now.
No.
Man, did everything but be champion.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he lost to Tyron Woodley.
He was a great fighter for like a little run, but not really all that great.
He was fun. He was good. He killed it for the time that he was there. Now he's 40 years old, looks like a firefighter. He just needs to hang it up.
Who, Woodley?
No,
Wonder Boy.
Oh, Wonder Boy, yeah. I mean, he still could fight though, but he shouldn't fight anymore. He's been fighting so long. He's been fighting since when they got paid even worse than they do now. And so he's trying to save all the money.
He also really doesn't have anything to prove anymore either.
No.
Yeah, I just think he's one of the guys who loves the business. He loves fighting.
Him and his dad, I believe, are like coaches, I believe.
Oh, that makes sense. So that is tomorrow's event in Saudi, UFC. It's a fight night, right?
Yeah,
correct.
Saudi fight night. Yeah, fight night in Saudi Arabia. Should be fun. I don't know how good it's going to be, but that's the thing. Sometimes when the card looks like it's going to be trash, sometimes you get surprises. You get some surprise fights.
Yeah.
There's a few chances in there. We saw some favorites, but there was a few chances in there for some upsets for this card. I think some people could definitely get some upsets. I just slept a bunch of narcoleptic midgets. Easiest win since betting the Celtics win in 5.
That sounds like a 2.
Yeah. I called him in 5 as well. It was a beatdown. Champions. What's good, D? Appreciate you showing up, bro. I feel like, Daryl, I feel like you're more of a boxing fan, and I feel like you showed up after we talked about boxing. But we talked about the Haney shit and the Ryan Garcia situation. But yeah. So
you know why we've been starting off with boxing the last few tap out shows?
Because there's been a lot of interesting information, a lot of interesting news.
Not only has there been interesting information, it's also the very last thing that I read about before we hop on the show. So it's so fresh in my mind, I want to sound like I know what I'm talking about.
I mean, which is completely pointless now that you told everyone.
I don't care.
But yeah, wait, why you mad? You wanted Ryan Garcia to have that win, Daryl? It's revoked. Your boy Haney's back to being undefeated, even though we all watched him get his ass beat.
He did. He got beat. He got his ass beat on live TV.
But what y'all been watching lately, fellas? You know the end of every tap out, we break down into some what y'all watching type shit. So
Will knows what I'm watching. I told him, I was like, guess what I'm rewatching?
Yeah, but they don't. Tell the people.
I am rewatching Hulu Originals Undead Unlocked, and I'm having such a good Undead Unlocked. I always say Unlocked, and I don't know why. Undead Unlocked, and it's super interesting. It takes a minute for you to fully understand exactly what's going on in the story, and it kind of changes its direction after the first couple of episodes because all they want to do, I mean, they don't necessarily change the direction. It's just they figure out that the path that they're going on is going to take way longer than it is, and it's not just about dying right away anymore. It's about doing other stuff, and it's just it's super interesting, and I'm having such a good time with it, and I'm relearning what all the negating abilities are, and it's
what all the uns are.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's a fun ass anime. And the two main characters are exactly as they say, as they state in the title. One of them is undead, cannot die, and one of them is extremely unlucky. And they find a way together to use those powers to try to save the entire world. So it's a fun ass anime. Don't listen to Lewis; he hates it.
I for the life of me cannot figure out the power scaling on this though.
Oh, that don't worry your pretty little head with power scaling in this anime because it is all over the place for sure.
Well, no, I'm trying to compare it, and I'm trying to think. So, Will, in your opinion, if you got a 1v1 going on, can Shigaraki technically beat Andy, or is it pointless because even if he disintegrates, if he's just going to come back?
So there's going to be a little bit of a spoiler in my answer if you're not caught up to My Hero at the moment right now, like the most recent. Now, if you're in the manga, you're way ahead of this. But if you're not caught up in the anime,
well, ask Mike because I'm caught up on the manga.
So what just happened with Shigaraki, the last episode, if he manages to get the power that is basically killing him right now, if he manages to get that power, there's no one fucking with him. Not at all. He's gonna get Stripe's power, and if he gets, do you even know what Stripe's quirk is? Star and Stripe.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I read it.
Is.
Yeah, no,
okay.
I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, if he gets Star and Stripe's power, if he actually gets it, which I don't know if he does, you probably know because you read the manga. But if he gets that power, it's over for a lot of motherfuckers. The only problem, what's gonna take them down, is the fact that they're not working necessarily together. Shigaraki and All for One, they have different goals.
Oh, again, I'm not going to spoil. There's so much about that I could go into and talk about, but there's.
But yeah, they have very different goals, and I think that's going to be their undoing because if they actually work together, it'd be over. Especially
it's a constant power struggle within one person's body,
and it's within him. So and that's why I think Deku's gonna be victorious because he's settled everything inside of him. I also think they're gonna eliminate everything out of Deku. I think he's gonna lose all them powers eventually. That's how they always do with guys who get every power. You end up losing them, and then you get like one at the end, like the great show Heroes back in the day.
I'm not allowed to talk.
Yeah, good. Don't talk. All for One is underrated villain in my book. Yeah, he like Shigaraki gets all the publicity, but All for One he's a diabolical dude, and he's been plotting for decades, it seems like.
Yeah, it's been forever.
It's reckless. Deku was gonna probably lose him to finish Homie off. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think he's gonna just have to sacrifice them all.
Daryl, if I had to tell you anything, if you want to find out exactly the way and whereabouts, how they beat him, they literally just
in the manga? They just did it?
Yes, in the manga, they have just wrapped up this arc within the last 2 chapters.
The Ichigo effect. Yeah. The Ichigo effect is he might be the most ass-pull character that wasn't meant to be that way. Because like now you have characters like Sid from Eminence. There's so many just OP characters now, but Ichigo was cracked like way before.
Well,
I don't know. The way they did him is every time something new came up, suddenly he had that in his blood.
Yes, suddenly he was that breed too. He's like the ultimate mutt in the spirit world.
He's been his mother fucked everything apparently. Like I don't.
Well, I understand that this is the anime show and the tap out show all together in one, but I got a question for you. I need you to answer this. So right now, I just checked the score. It's 3-0 going into the third period between the Oilers and the Panthers. Oilers are up 3-0.
Ooh, let's go.
What is more terrible? Is it the Panthers, if it happens this way, if we go to a Game 7, if the Panthers give up a 3-0 lead, or if the Oilers were able to scratch and crawl all the way back to tie this 3-3 just to lose that Game 7? What hurts more?
It's got to be Panthers because that doesn't happen. Whereas crawling back and losing that last game, that happens all the time. In fact, it makes sense. You put all the energy and effort in them 3 games to tie it up, and then you lose the 4th one. I mean, that makes sense. But letting a team crawl back when you were up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals, I'm pretty sure that's a never. As in, it's never happened. For example, when the Red Sox won the World Series for the first time in 86 years, no one gave you. Most people don't even remember who he played in the pennant. No one even remembers really.
Can I take a guess and say it was St. Louis?
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it the other day, so you're not that fancy.
No, I wasn't on the show the other day, motherfucker.
You were in the chat.
I am a baseball nut. Get out of here. I hate you. Don't do that to me.
I'm not saying you wouldn't have had it. Anyways, yeah. So the Cardinals, we swept them. The real series was us coming back down 3-0 to the Yankees. And that was we could have not won it all, and we would have been happy already, like, just beating the Yankees like that. So what else? What do you still on Naruto?
Me?
Mr. Yeah, you.
Yeah, I just got to the Obito part, so yeah,
the greatest parts in anime history.
Yeah, so I figure as much. I like I was telling you earlier, I had two suspects. It was him and Shisui.
Yeah.
So I was 50-50.
I mean, you can see his eyes, so you automatically know it's an Uchiha, probably. Or I guess a few other people have stolen eyes, so I guess it could be anybody's stolen eye. But once you realize, like, yeah, that's an Uchiha, it's probably Shisui or Obito. I'm glad it wasn't Shisui though.
And if you rearrange his name, it spells Toby.
Oh no. Also, did you catch? There's a little Easter egg in there too that you wouldn't have understood when it happened. But so you heard now, you've obviously heard. You don't know how it happened, but you've heard that Rin died,
right?
And you know that Rin was Three Tails Jinchuriki. When they got Three Tails, when they captured
Spoilers.
3 Tails, and nah, that's not it. It happened. All this happened already.
Hey, you don't know what the chat's watched.
I don't give a fuck what the chat's watched. But when he no, I do. But I'm pretty sure Dal has seen this, and I think I guess other people are here. Oh well, spoilers. But when they actually got Three Tails and they were traveling back with it, Toby was just relaxing on Three Tails, just laying there the whole trip back. And that's because it's the closest he can get to Rin. Yeah, he had it bad for Rin. But yeah, man, I'd love to watch that over again, like fresh. You mean Obito? You know that Obito has one nut Senju and one nut Uchiha because of the Hashirama cells. Oh, yeah, that's actually kind of true. Yeah, he is, but I mean, it's ridiculous that that's the center of the part of his body that he chose to focus on, but that's hilarious, Daryl.
I need to what I need to do is actually find a place to sit down and watch Shippuden, because I have never fully went through and watched the entire anime. The only reason that I know what Will knows this already. I probably said it on live before, but the only reason I know what happened in Shippuden is because I played the freaking video games. And again, they went into really, really good detail on the video games to where a guy like me knows enough about Naruto to where I'm able to have conversations with people about it because they did that well on those games. Job. So whoever created those Ultimate Ninja Story games, hats off to you.
Also, speaking to Gal's comment about Hashirama cells, how many Hashirama cells are there? Because so many people get a hold of them. Like Naruto has a whole arm that's Hashirama cells now.
Well, as far as I know, the only way that those cells were even distributed was because Madara just took a bite out of the man. He just went up there and said, "How?" And then that's kind of how it all started. I don't know how else it's gotten around since then, but
then like Orochimaru took some, and so did the Foundation.
Yeah, we know most of what's out in the world is because Orochimaru is himself
a mad scientist.
Yeah, it's putting it gently.
It's kind of a creep.
He's not kind of comedic. I still cry watching Pervy Sage die to his subordinate. Oh yeah, I'm about to say, did you see that? Yeah, you saw that too. You saw that Jiraiya. That was one of the craziest scenes when Naruto finds out about Jiraiya and he fucking dog checks Lady Tsunade. Like, yo, Suck the fuck up. You should have told me. I'm out. That shit was gangster.
Man, but they took my boy out in brutal fashion too.
He got taken out by his own subordinate, like you said. They slammed him with the receiver rods, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like 6 of them shits in his back. It was over.
Hey, but can I talk? But good for him. They didn't make him go out like a bitch. He got to, get his message out, tell the frog, get the fuck out of here, homie, get that message to Tsunade. And then the thing broke, and he got a water burial.
But he's like a plot death, though. Also, somebody went and got to that body somehow.
How so? I have no idea.
I can't tell you why, but
put it in the chat. I want to know because I'll probably never watch it anyway.
Oh, you're not gonna watch Boruto?
I mean, no. I read the manga, and I'm probably never gonna wait around and watch it. I'll probably forget they're even making it.
Daryl said he saved Nagato, and then Nagato said he would kill him as a kid too. Yeah, watch Boruto. I mean, I wouldn't push that to too many people, Daryl. The best part of the Boruto anime hasn't happened yet. It's
not at all.
It
gets so good. It gets so good.
Yeah,
dude. This isn't even a spoiler, but all I'm saying. No, it's not a spoiler. Legit, it's not. But Boruto turns into a stone cold motherfucker, and I love the guy. He went from one of the most hated guys in manga anime history to one of the coldest, and just a 2-year time skip. It's just a 2-year time skip.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense though. Also, that is still a spoiler.
Technically, it is because of what happened. I'm not talking about.
Anyways,
I'm not talking. Wait. Will. I'm not talking about the spoiler. I really wish I'm going to have this conversation with you after we go off air.
Yeah. So then stop now.
Oh, I'm going to forget about it though. That's the problem.
Write it down. You got a phone in your hand. Boruto stabbing Sasuke in the eye was lit and bullshit at the same time. Except that, I don't want to say anything about that because I don't want to spoil it. So yeah. But what else y'all watch? Y'all watching anything good? Anything else? I've been watching so much shit.
Spoil it.
What?
It was a SpongeBob reference. I'm young.
You're a mess. What y'all watching? Are you watching Boruto? I mean Naruto, Mike?
Yeah, that. I finished Shogun.
You said that, you deaf old man.
Oh, okay, Shogun was nice.
Shogun's good. You see it yet?
I gotta. I've seen like an episode. I gotta watch more.
So good.
Instead, I'll stop and focus on combing my hair. Daryl's a mess. All right, yeah. Looks like we're running dry. I mean, I got more anime to talk about, but I don't think necessarily. I didn't put it in the title, so I don't think people came to that.
How are you about to tell us? So, guys, what animes are you watching? And you don't tell us what the fuck you're watching, asshole.
Because we honestly don't have time for. All right, you asked for this. This is your fault now. You did this.
Just say what you're watching, and then we'll go offline.
Yeah, I don't know. We still don't have time. At any given time, I'm watching 6 to 8 animes.
All right, fair enough. All right, everybody.
Nah, I got you. The most recent one that I watched is season 1 of The Promised Neverland, which is about kids at an orphanage who find out that it's not an orphanage, it's a farm, and their food.
Oh.
He said I'm bald, by the way. Yeah, I'm well aware. He said I'm combing my hair. It's bald. So it gives. I don't know if anybody's seen Born in Abyss, but similar vibes to that. There was also parts of Monster that had an orphanage that was very similar to how they were running it there. But and as far as my God, Freeren's over. Jake won't watch Freeren because it has elves. He's weird.
Fuck elves. Hey, if you guys haven't watched it yet, I got turned on to it about a month ago. Guys, go out and watch Ranking of Kings.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Ranking of Kings, you should do that. Boji's the GOAT.
I literally sat around and watched Will and Lewis use this GIF for 2 months straight, and I was like, what the fuck even is that? And they're like, he's the GOAT. I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
That's all we would say is he's the GOAT.
And then I finally went and found out what the anime was, what it was called, and where it was. And I'm like,
oh, we told you.
What? I'm like, no, I kept asking you guys were holding it from me. And then you were like,
no, literally, you can go back.
No.
It might make the story better, but if you go back, we said it multiple times.
No, hold on. No, it will make the story better because it's true. Because it's true. Will goes, we haven't told you yet? Yeah, it's Ranking of Kings. We told you this already. What are you doing that for? I'm like, no, you haven't.
It was said so many times by Lewis. So many.
Lewis has a very roundabout way. Lewis has a very roundabout way of saying things to where
there's no roundabout way to say a title of something.
Well, he didn't say the title of something.
How did I find it then?
Because he likes you.
No, now I know you're full of shit. Because the very last person he fucking likes is me. I watched Hell's Paradise is dope.
Is that the one with the they're trying to find the elixir of life?
Yeah.
I saw like 5 episodes of that. It was actually really good.
Yo, it's really, you should finish it. Only 13 episodes in that first season, I believe. And yeah, that's really good. If you're into like silliness, but still some good action, Mashal, Magic, and Muscle is really good. Season 2's out right now. That shit was hitting. Tower of God was dope as hell. What's the other one that had? Delicious in Dungeon just wrapped up. That's on Netflix. That's a good one. It's like Frieren, but more about food too.
And no elves.
There's an elf. You'll get over it.
I won't.
You're watching cartoons and elves, but like I don't even know. This is the craziest shit. You have some of the craziest shit. I don't understand.
I do, man. You should have just seen one of
that toilet. You guys are here, chat.
Are they though?
Help tell Jake that he's a fucking weirdo for having such an issue with elves.
I don't even. It's a big old nope.
I don't even.
I was waiting for you to say you're a big old nope, but I guess you missed that opportunity.
You are a big old. I don't even have to say that. You knew. Windbreaker. I had initially shit on this anime because
I remember that
because the opening episode is. They're really doing Tokyo Revengers, but in their own way. They just took out some elements and added a few others, but not really much of anything. But it ended up being good though. But Tokyo Revengers is better with the same concept. It's about street gangs in Tokyo. And they just go around fucking each other up for apparently to run Japan. Which is, now that I say it out loud, I was like, why? What is it? Why are they just... But yeah, apparently, like in Windbreakers, the whole goal is like they just want to protect their city, like their little town. So they all build gangs and they protect the towns. It's like Bloods and
built this city.
Yeah, except they didn't fight each other. Overlord, I watched Overlord recently. Isekai with a villain for the MC. It was all right. What else we got here?
And then if you guys really want to watch something funny that you've already seen before, but just a little bit different, Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. Have fun with it.
I'd rather just go back and watch Hellsing, the original. It's so good. That's what I hear. I hear it's so great. I haven't watched it yet.
You'll lose your mind over the Abridged, bro, if you just give it a chance.
Oh, because they're goofy. Yeah, they're funnier on the Abridged. It's more about comedy. Kaiju number 8. For my Attack on Titan fans, it's like Attack on Titan meets Fire Force. That's enough.
And I know it's been out a minute, and everyone that's going to watch it's probably already watched it. I believe they're wrapped up now on their first season. Give that Solo Leveling a try if you haven't already.
Solo Leveling trailed. Started off really good, and I think it's still solid. But anime struggle closing, huh? Not an easy thing to end a season or a series in general.
Need a bunch of folks. Shots is what we need.
Yeah, some of the one shots are the best ever. FLCL. I'd rather watch Really Cooley than most of these animes. Honestly,
I agree.
6 episodes, and it was. Oh, I hear Agent, or is it Agent Angel, or it's an older one from like the 90s. This shit looks like Akira, the art style. Apparently that is supposed to be really good. About 6 episodes. Anywho, you people have been great. Yes, you people.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
The M word.
The M word. Classic. Somebody clipped that from earlier. That was great.
Bro, that went away. Will had already forgot about it because he's got Alzheimer's now, and you got to do that?
No. M word is legit. I would have heard it when I listened to the episode playback. But all right, folks, we appreciate you coming through, man. We will be doing another show hopefully next Friday because there's a better event coming up, and we'll go over some of this stuff, and whatever else boxing happens in the boxing world. We didn't actually talk about actual fights that happened recently too, though. Tank whooped ass.
Oh yeah,
Tank beat the brakes off of what's his name, Frank Martin.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't fun.
Not for Frank, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. And at the very end, yeah, he put him to sleep. So shout out to Tank. We're gonna eventually start having a conversation about where Tank ranks all time in his weight class. I don't know. I don't think he's an all time great, but he could be for that weight class. He's
depending on what his next couple of fights look like, he's got a chance.
He's racking up bodies. He's got to fight like his legacy fights got to be good though, because the bulk of his career was catered well. I'm not saying he didn't fight anybody, but he fought people at opportune times. And so I think he's already solidified as one of the greats, but to really bring that legacy home, he got to fight a couple good fights on the way out.
Isn't this the guy that has Stevenson, I think his name is, in the same weight class that he could fight?
Yeah, but Shakur's gonna duck him. Shakur probably ducks him.
Really?
Yeah, Shakur got no reason to fight him. Shakur's on the rise of his career. That's a loss, probably. Shakur's not gonna fight him.
Why wouldn't you want to make a fight to cap off a massive payday?
Because Shakur's gonna line himself out to have other big fights, and if he loses that fight, he might not get those other big fights. I think he's gonna price him out. He's gonna say like, "Yo, yeah." I think he's gonna say, "Yo, I'll fight that fight, but you got to give me like a 50-50 split." And of course, that's crazy. Tank's the bigger fighter.
Yeah,
that's what boxers do. When they don't really want to fight you, they'll just price you out by asking for something in the split that's outrageous.
Fair enough. But yeah, we've been trying to close out this show for 20 minutes. Everyone, thank you for tuning into the Tap Out Show. Like Will said, bigger, better show next week, more than likely, because the card's just that much better. Allegedly.
Or there'll be no show. You can never really call it with us.
And we've been pretty consistent for about a month now, so we're going to keep this up, try to ride this wave a little longer, as long as I will get woken up correctly.
Yeah. I had to go get him today. All right, but shout out to everybody in the chat. Down, you held it down. Everybody else who was here too, appreciate y'all. I don't read all the names like Coach does because I'm not as good as him.
Punk ass Lewis wasn't here.
Yeah, I expected that. It's 1,000 degrees where he lives, so.
And he's dealing with hurricane-like conditions.
Oh yeah. So when and when it's not 1,000 degrees, he had hurricane-like situation. He had hurricane.
That man's going through it.
Okay. We should probably check on him.
Well, I did. I checked on him earlier. I was like, Lewis, I'm assuming you're frying like a potato down there, so I'll see you maybe. He's like, hurricane. I'm like, that's all you got to say? Are you all right, bro?
He's like, currently in a bunker. That's why I can only text the one thing. But yeah. So hopefully Lewis and everybody down there is all right. And hopefully you folks have a wonderful week. We will, what's today? Friday. So we'll see y'all Monday for the Parlay Perspective. Khalid! No, sir. Come on, Bunk Guy.
Find this podcast and others on ST WFTV, the Podcasting Network, wherever you get podcasts.